everybody, it is Christine. I'm sorry for all the shine, but I'll show you in just a second what I got going on here. Today's scrapbook process video is a twofer. I'm doing Iron Crafter with this, which is the paper snob, and I'm also doing Lisa's 500 subby hop. So I'll have links below. Definitely check out Lisa. Oh gosh, I think my cat just messed my computer up. Definitely check out Lisa, and if you haven't subscribed to her, give her some love and subscribe, just because we want all of our creative friends to meet all the fun milestones. So make sure you do that. Both of them are basically recipe challenges. So for Iron Crafter, we're to use acrylic title or pieces, a border punch, and a stencil. And I just really gotta go grab a border punch. And then with Lisa, she had a this or that recipe. So as wood grain or mixed media, I'm going to go with wood grain, although technically I'm going to have mixed media too. A stencil or stamping. And stencil, since it also goes with the Iron Crafter, I'm going to do a stencil. And acrylic pieces are enamel dots. And again, acrylic pieces here, so I'm going to do it here. I may still have it enamel dots, who knows. And a big title or lots of journaling. I will probably do this big title just because the picture I've selected is of my daughter and her husband's hands after their wedding. It's over they got married by this lake. And I thought that picture was really pretty. And I pulled out a Scrap Room Flavors of the Month for March 2024. It's a Simple Stories Remember. And I got it because I thought the blue looked really pretty with the water. And then also the acrylic pieces I'm choosing are from my Some Assemblage Required's Advent box. And there's like these little white flowers, little green. So this looks like it would go really good. And since it's Scrap Room, you get a little bit of embellishments. And there was this little title that says Forever. So I thought this could be really pretty as the title. I'm not going to do Miss You So because that doesn't make any sense. But there's cute little pieces in here. And then the stencil I've got is also from my Some Assemblage Required Advent box. It's just this nice little like grid type thing. So it'll make a pretty little like textured, almost fabric-y if you do it right. And so the dyes I pulled out are Distress Oxides. I've got Vintage Photo and tea dye. I think the tea dye might be what I end up using. And the papers I have, you can see I'm focusing kind of on this floral for the color palette. The back side's just a tone on tone. There's this really pretty piece here. I might fussy cut this. And use it. We'll see. And then there's this this is so pretty, y'all. This is just that little dandelion wishes. I'm going to call them wishes. You know, the little seeds, but they're like wishes. Of course, on the back side of these cut aparts. Oh, wood grain. I gotta show you the wood grain. So I went into my stash to get my wood grain. It looks like it's, I don't remember where this is from. I think it was like a ocean-y one, but I don't remember who made it. And the branding strip is not on here, so I apologize. I don't know. But it's a pretty little white wood grain, and I thought it went really pretty with the flowers on here. So I think I may end up, I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe using this sketch of the month here similarly, perhaps. Because this could be cute with a, oh dear, with a border punch along here maybe. So I've got 1, 2, 3 pattern papers plus the back side. So that might work perfectly with this. I kind of, like I said, I kind of want to fussy cut this and maybe use it in this area here. And then the border punch part could go underneath. So that might be what I do. So let me get my border punch. And I need to mount this also on like white. I'll mount it on white. So I've got it. Either white or cream. I may end up using the cream. We'll see. Maybe I'll use this paper here since I'm going to cut it out. We'll see. We'll try that. All right. Let me do a few little bits of homework here, and I'll be back on in a second. Okay. So I'm going to cut my floral down. I cut it down to a 10 by 10. Out of the whole collection, well, I was going to say this is my favorite piece of paper, but if I'm 100% honest, I love the little dandelion seeds. So it's hard to say the floral is my favorite piece, but I do love it. So I make it a 10 by 10, and then I'm going to fussy cut out this little piece here. And if I'm honest, I'm going to cut away almost immediately here because I start to cut it and realize, well, y'all don't need to sit there and watch me fussy cut that. And I probably could have cut it out a little bit later on instead of right now. But I just got excited about that pretty little piece of goodies, you know. So I'm going to fussy cut that out. Now I have my little dandelion paper, and this is going to become another little color block on my layout here. And I am following, by the way, that sketch from the Scrap Room Flavors of the Month from the March 2024. That is the sketch I'm following. So at least pretty close. I mean, it's obviously got a couple photos, and I've got one photo and that sort of thing. But I'm kind of figuring out this piece here. I did I fussy cut it, and then I did cut into like the little faux doily print or whatever, because I want to tuck my picture and my papers and stuff kind of down in there. So that's a little trick you can do. You can always just cut along the pattern line, and you can tuck things in there. And so like basically my paper's over the top of the bottom part down there and underneath the doily part. So it's just kind of a nice little 3D effect in a way. Now, I've got a straight edge on the far right side of that fussy cut piece, so that's going to need to go up to the edge of my outside of my paper there. At the moment, I have that blue dandelion paper. It's going to get shifted over to the left. It's a little too far to the right now. But I decided to go ahead and make my border here. And this is the border punch I found. I don't remember if this is a Stampin' Up! One or if it's just one I got. It may be, I think it's We Are Memory Keepers now that I say that. I've had it quite a little while. Sometimes the way I use it, you can see it's making this really pretty like flower type deal. Sometimes I'll take it and I'll cut it down the middle as well. So it's like you get the little flower and then you can cut it and then you have almost like a little, you can have a double-sided border if you like. In this case, I went ahead and left it as a single piece. And at the moment, you see I'm cutting actually the cream side, but I'm going to flip it over and I'll actually use the green side. Not sure why I was cutting it on the cream side, because I knew I needed to use the green side because the contrast is a little better when I put it down on my paper, but whatever. It's the same piece of paper. I just have to flip it over. I do have to trim off a few little pieces. I must have been off slightly within the unit there, but it's not much enough. And just little small little slivers of paper. So now I've got all that. I think I need to cut one more piece, which is it's the tone on tone, which is the back of the floral. But I don't know that I figured that out yet. I think I will in just a second. So I've kind of got this going, and I'm going to tuck all this together, kind of figure out my spacing. I've got my little border there, and I'm like, okay, this is looking pretty cute. I will need to, in a second, I got to use my stencil, right? Actually, sometime during this video, too, you'll see me. I've got my little list, and I'll mark them off as I actually put them on the page, because otherwise I would have probably forgot something. This is where, what am I doing here? I don't know what I'm doing. I decided against it, I guess, because I think I was thinking I think it's because I knew I needed a second piece of paper there, and this is where I realize it. So this is a 2-inch piece of paper off of the floral, because I cut it, like I said, by 10 by 10. And I'm going to end up having to trim it down also. I cut it in half to get myself 1 inch on each side, but I will have to cut off, I don't know, about 1.5 inches or something to make it be kind of per the sketch. It's a little shorter than the blue, and I'll tuck that underneath there. I'm going to have to finagle the bottom down there just a tad. I'll actually end up starting gluing stuff together, and I cut it out, but I accidentally glue. I do the tone on tone, the little floral to the blue, and then I realized after I do it, I couldn't tuck it into my film strip, but that's not on camera, so I don't know why I even bothered to tell you. I guess my point to you is I messed it up, and then I fixed it. Here's where I'm going. Okay, now I got to get my stencil going on, and I actually start off in the upper right corner here, and I'll use my little tea dye. I really enjoy this color. This worked out well. I was actually really proud of myself. I didn't feel like I ended up with a square. I said not too long ago that I feel like every time I use these square templates, I don't get as organic a shape as I'm trying to get, and I end up with a square. But this time I feel like I did a fairly decent job getting a little bit organic template or pattern here. But then I realized, oh shoot, I want the sketch kind of has the embellishments kind of coming from the lower right to the upper left. So I rotate it, and then I'm going to do the upper left now. And it's totally fine. I mean, that's a wood grain. It can go whatever. So I'm going to do my upper left here. And again, I think this color looks really good with this collection. And then I'll cut away because I'm going to start just gluing down the papers in a second. Basically how you see them there, excepting the picture. I will mat the photo in just a second. But anyway, I'm going to glue all that stuff down and then come back. And now I've got everything kind of glued except for this little piece here. This is where I'm realizing, okay, I got to tuck this stuff in. And that pink piece there is going to have to be glued behind the little film strip thing. I will tell you too, just real quickly, so the photos, I always get so impressed with wedding photographers. And I say that, I guess I don't know very many. But I'm always like, how did they come up with these ideas? You know, and this really pretty picture of their hands being held, you know, over the water. It's just a bit, to me, it's just a unique way to illustrate, you know, the marriage and the unity and stuff. And I'm sure that's not that unique. I'm sure there's 1,000 pictures where people are holding hands. So, but somebody came up with it originally, and I think it was a really good idea. And I just think it's really pretty. My daughter's, you know, she'd gotten her nails done, and of course her sleeve on her dress is this really pretty, you know, sheer and everything. And his hand is, I think it's a really pretty picture. And so I love it. And I think it's great with this collection. The other thing I'll mention about this collection, It's called Remember, I believe is what I told you. Simple Stories Remember. And I didn't think about it initially. This is more like a memorial collection. So there's actually stuff in there like Miss You Forever or Miss You or something. And then there's like something about loss or something in the embellishments in that. And there's a little dove, a little peace dove. So I think you could use it for like I want to say funeral or a memorial page or something. But I guess I wanted to show you too that this is a bit versatile, right? Because this is a wedding page. So you don't have to use the sad parts or the lost parts. You can use the parts that are just pretty florals. I've got everything glued down except now I'm going to start adding my titles here so that it says forever. Actually, I'm going to add one more piece to that title after I put everything else down, but you'll see that in just a minute. But this is where, look at me fight that flower. This is where I'm going to start kind of looking at the embellishments and realize, well, some of these are just, they're not really appropriate. You know, it's like there's loss involved. And I go, well, I won't use too many of those. Here's me getting out the little acrylic pieces. I don't use one of the green leaves because it's a shade different than the other two. And I didn't really want to introduce that shade. So I'll use two of them, and then I'll use all the white flowers, and I'll use Nuvo glue. I got to remember to peel off the paper off the back. That takes me just a second too, and I'll have to, I think I go off camera to glue this stuff down. But if you ever have acrylic, by the way, there's usually a little piece of paper on the back of it. So make sure you, pull that off. It's to protect it, I guess, as it's going through the laser. And so, but if you don't know about it and you don't think about it, you might forget. But you don't want that on there. It kind of messes with the shading, I guess. I find this little stamp, it's really cute. It's just a simple little square. But I thought, okay, that's a nice base to try to add the little green leaves and the little flower. I find this butterfly, and I do like the butterfly, so that's going to go underneath forever. And then, again, I've got those little flowers going everywhere, so I've glued them all down, and this is where I do find the word love. And I thought, oh, that could be really pretty, love forever. So that's what I'm going to kind of make the title. And there was two little foam hearts. There's like a navy blue and a little cream heart, so I'll end up using those. There was actually a paper ephemera heart, and I'll look at it and think about it. But because I had the three flowers in the bottom right, I didn't want to add it down there. I didn't think it would look right. So I add my hearts up in the upper left, and I'm just kind of fussing around with these things down there. I think, like I said, I'll look one more time for this ephemera, and I go, no, I don't want to do that. So basically, that's it, you guys. That's all I'm going to do. I'm double checking my list to make sure I got everything on there, which I did. So I'm really proud of myself. And here is the slowdown. Again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the playlist, and definitely don't forget to check out Miss Lisa. And I think she's on our scrapbook, scrap room. What am I trying to say? The darn Sunday one we do, Scrap Live Crafternoon. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so crazy. But yeah, make sure you give her some love, and we will see you next time. Bye.